What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and welcome back for some more Fire Emblem Heroes, and this is going to be my first impression and the stat speculation of the new Ascended Ishtar Banner that we're going to be getting tomorrow. And the first unit that we have is going to be Tine. So she is a colorless infantry mage, which definitely makes her a bit more unique because we don't have the most amount of colorless mages, but I guess we're starting to get more and more of them. And she's got Thunderer Tome as her weapon. Really like the naming scheme there. And this weapon gives her -1 special cooldown, and she basically has a better time pulse in her weapon because you're given turns 1 to 3 to make sure that she's not at full HP. So she wants to take a bit of chip damage and be not at full HP so that she can basically get a better time pulse. The reason why I keep saying better time pulse is because this weapon is still going to be giving her the -1 special cooldown at start of the turn, even if her special is not at the max cooldown. So that's why it's a better time pulse. It doesn't have that max cooldown count condition, which is definitely really good because when you combine this with time pulse or infantry pulse, it can stack up with those things, and she can just have a 3 cooldown special like Draconic Aura pre-charged with time pulse, and she can of course I guess use the AoE specials, but the secondary part of her weapon doesn't really work on AoE specials. So that is the first condition, and then she can get +6 attack and speed during the combat, and when her special triggers, she can deal +7 true damage and disables any kind of damage reduction skills. So you could consider this like a magical Deadeye in a way, and this is going to be pretty nice when she can pre-charge specials, so she can hit extremely hard and also just get past the percentage based damage reduction skills. So she's going to be a really powerful mage nuke with those pre-charged specials, and also the fact that she can pierce through the damage reduction. And then she's got Draconic Aura, Fury, Null Follow-Up, and also Blue Feud. So Blue Feud is I guess quite relevant because we do have Brave Hector and Ascended Idun as the two most common far save tanks, and I guess that could be useful if you're targeting them. I can definitely see some people trying to optimize their units for Summoner Duels R or Aether Raids defense against those Brave Hectors and Ascended Idun. More so I guess for Summoner Duels R, I would say, because Brave Hector and Ascended Idun are really good for taking on Duochrome, who's the most useful unit in that game mode. So Blue Feud might be something that we see in that game mode, especially in the higher echelons of gameplay. And Tine, I think that she's going to be having a stat spread similar to this. Draconic Aura does give us a chance to calculate her attack, so I think she's going to be having really good base attack at base 40, and probably, you know, is going to be ending up having a super boon. And then she's also going to be quite fast, I think easily more than 40 speed, because she's mainly an offensive unit, and then she's going to be having more resistance than defense. And then we have got her brother in Arthur present on this banner. He's also a 5-star locked unit as a green infantry mage, and he doesn't really have a preferred weapon. Instead he has got Grand Vulture. So this was actually data mined. A lot of people were expecting Hanuman and expecting this to be a 3 houses banner, but Arthur ends up having this. Unfortunately he's not a demote, so it's not going to be the easiest inheritable weapon to get, but still I guess easier than before, as this is a non-seasonal version of Pelagian Torch Plus. Definitely a pretty nice option on a lot of green mages who do not really have a preferred weapon. And he also comes with Speed Resistance Menace as a new menace skill. So this could be useful for the Pegasus Flight users, or I guess the units who want to just be more offensive and head on the resistance side, or units who have some kind of resistance check in their weapon and they also want to be fast. And the speed debuffs don't really help with the Vulture Tome because it only gives you the debuffs on the attack and resistance. So attack resistance menace does end up having better synergy with the Vulture Tome. But still you can get the menace skill and the Vulture Tome at the same time, or the ideal skill. So fodder wise he's definitely really good. I do expect him to have good offenses because he's a 5-star locked unit, so they have to give him like really good offenses, especially when he doesn't have a preferred weapon. And then we've got the demote of this banner who's going to be Scáthach, and he's the twin brother of Larse. Still does not have any kind of Regnal Astra or Imperial Astra because of course he's a demote and he's a sword infantry unit. And fun fact, this is actually the first time we've got a sword infantry demote after Sylvia. So that has been a long time honestly for a sword infantry demote. He has got Spirited Sword Plus, which is basically the non-seasonal version of Pledge Blade Plus present on Brattleboro. So I guess a decent inheritable weapon, and he just has the vanilla Astra, and then he's got attack defense ideal and odd defense wave. So looking at his base kit, you can kind of tell that he's going to be having high defense and high attack, and probably not that much speed because he's not able to double this Axe Fighter here. So he's going to be destroying with Astra. I think he's still going to be having workable speed at base 35 because the generic axe fighters have around like 31 speed. So just because he's not doubling does not mean that he's extremely slow. I think he can still have workable speed. So that could be possible. At least I want it to be possible. And then he's going to be having high defense. So I guess you can consider him like a demoted Shannon without any kind of goodies, or I guess a new gen evil in a sense with this kind of stat spread. He's also going to be having high attack, I think, at base 42. So yeah, that's Scáthach, unfortunately got massacred, didn't really get any kind of preferred special. And then we have the hero of this banner, I guess, and she's going to be Ascended Ishtar. Definitely did not expect her. I was more so expecting Ascended Ares for obvious reasons, but Ascended Ishtar also looks really amazing in this new art, and she's a blue infantry mage. And she has a preferred weapon in Thunder's Mjolnir, which gives her -1 special cooldown, gives her +6 attack and speed during the combat, and then she also has a tempo skill built into her weapon. So she has got the null guard and also just stops any kind of special acceleration skills on the enemy. So having the tempo skill in her weapon is really nice. And then finally, if she's got 10 or more speed than the opponent, she can get the player phase brave effect. So this makes her a pretty strong mage nuke because the -1 special cooldown makes it so that Luna is a 2-turn special, and then Time Pulse makes it a 1-turn special. And because she has got the player phase brave effect and the tempo skill in her weapon, she can basically have a guaranteed Luna on her brave hit, which is definitely going to be hitting really hard. But unfortunately nowadays we do see more hardy fighter Farsight units with Aegis and then Deflect Magic. So against them, she's not going to be able to kill them a lot of the times, but if they're not carrying Deflect Magic or something like that, or they're not hardy fighter Farsight, then she's going to be hitting extremely hard. Speed stacking is going to be the way to go, similar to how it is in Winter Lysithea, where she can get the brave effect depending on her speed. It's just that, you know, Ishtar doesn't really have that desperation effect like Winter Lysithea. So player phase brave effect is definitely pretty strong on a mage who has got the null guard and also -1 special cooldown. And she comes with a pretty fitting base kit. This is the first time I believe that the Ascended unit does not give us a new skill. Because if you think about it, Ascended Fjorm gave us Hardy Fighter, Ascended Legion gave us the Rouse 4 skills, and then Ascended Joshua I believe gave us the Feud skill. Ascended Idun gave us Wily Fighter, and then Ascended Marita Vital Astra. So yeah, Ascended Ishtar doesn't really bring the new skill like the other Ascended heroes basically. So Ascended Ishtar is basically a strong mage nuke with that conditional brave weapon and the tempo skill, which allows her to trigger Luna on her second hit, and that's pretty much what she's going to be doing. Of course, not the most insane Ascended unit, but still I guess pretty nice if you do like Ishtar or really like her art. Speaking of her art, she's actually holding some plushies in her hand, probably because she's trying to save the children that were hunted down for the cult. So that's why she has got those in her hand, which is definitely quite a development. I'm definitely going to be curious to hear what kind of voice line she has and if she interacts with Julius in the Forging Bonds. Maybe this kind of Ishtar, it's from an alternate timeline. That would be definitely quite interesting. So that is Ishtar. I do expect her to have high speed. She needs to have the highest amount of speed that she can get with this kind of weapon that requires her to have 10 or more speed than the opponent. Of course, she's going to be outspeeding the slow units, but the fast units are the problem for Ishtar to meet that speed check. So that's why I think she's going to be having hopefully base 43 speed and also really good attack stat. And then nothing really else really matters for her as long as she's killing stuff in 2 hits and meeting that speed check. Our Grand Hero Battle unit this time is going to be Mom of Ishtar, Hilda. Yeah, this is different Hilda. And I think that she's just going to be a slow mage. She does have Volganon in FE4, so that's why she could be a red mage. But then again, they could just switch up the color because we did get Salem as a red infantry mage recently, so they could do that. Maybe make her blue or green. But Volganon does suggest red color, at least if they're trying to stick with that. But I hope that she's something different and at least add some kind of preferred weapon or maybe a Vulture Tome, I guess, if she's going to be blue. So yeah, expect her to have high attack stat, probably not that much speed, and good bulk. Kind of like the evil mom character that we have with Sonya as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Her art is definitely going to be something to look out for because she doesn't even have a Cypher art, and this is pretty much all that she has got. So yeah, that's the Ascended Ishtar banner. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to leave a like and a comment. Helps me tremendously. And if you really enjoyed, you could always support me directly by using super thanks or by becoming a YouTube member. And for more FEH videos, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because YouTube sub boxes are about as functional as them not giving Scáthach any kind of Regnal Astra or Imperial Astra. So that's it. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.